Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the WGLNA Season 2 Gold League. I'm your host, Christian Toma. To my left is David Williams. Make sure to check us out on Facebook and YouTube /WGLNA. If you guys aren't watching this on BattleViewer.com, go over there right now and check it out. And finally, follow us on Twitter @WGLNA so you guys can stay up to date on what's happening in the community around you. And also, you can answer the question of the day.
Which is, do you think Noble can win it all again?
That's right. Now, after tonight, seems like they absolutely can, but
They're on track.
High Voltage just showed that they will definitely be, again, that team that is going to be the one to kind of butt heads with Noble, too, because they got so close last season. They showed dominance last season. It looks like they're off to that same start. David, your thoughts?
I think Noble started off with the right momentum. I think their gameplay is obviously reflecting the fact they're more comfortable at Tier 10. I think High Voltage also started off just as well, about just as well. It's hard to kind of measure the two because they didn't play the exact same opponent. But nice preference, map preference. But that steps match from High Voltage.
Absolutely amazing. Well,
crazy.
The next match we're about to see is Yo versus DingNA. On the side of Yo for the face-off, we've got Lost. On the side of DingNA, we've got Putin. Gentlemen, welcome to the face-off. Putin, good to have you back.
Yeah, nice to be here again, guys.
Privet.
Good to see you guys indeed. Lost, going to go over and start with you guys on the side of Yo. Welcome to the Season 2 Gold League. It's good to have you guys in. Congratulations on making it in. You are welcome. Now, the question I'm going to have for you guys is how confident are you guys as a team using these Tier 10 tanks?
I say fairly confident. We just came from the league play, clan league play, as well as I think majority of us, our average tiers are pretty high as well. So I think we're fairly confident in the tank itself.
All right. Well, good to hear. That is good to hear indeed. Can't wait to see how you guys perform.
Thank you.
Who are you most looking forward to playing against this season?
Myself or
yes.
Myself, Noble, the best, right? You want to always see who the best is. They just won the championship, so at the moment they're the best. But really, just a learning experience, from now till the end. We're new, getting cohesive group together. So for right now, we won. I would like this to go Noble. That's my personal choice to see where we stand. Obviously, we probably will get wrecked, but but for the most part, I just like experience at the most right now. How about that?
That's a solid answer.
Yeah, absolutely, indeed. Thank you, Lost, for that. Now, Putin, over to you, sir. My question is going to be, as you guys as a team, how much time do you guys spend a day practicing? I know a lot of people kind of ask those questions and want to know that at a professional level.
Yeah, this team, Ding, they practice a lot. I was surprised when I joined them. They practice almost every day. These guys they want to get better, and they're putting in the time to do that.
Awesome. I can't wait to see how that shows off tonight.
So in your experience, you've obviously been around for a long time. How well do you think Ding measures up against the teams that have been in the league for a while?
No comment. We're just going to have to see.
That's a fantastic answer indeed, and we will see as this,
said that.
as this season progresses. Lost, before we get into the battle, anything you'd like to say over to the side of Ding?
Best of luck, man.
There we go.
Yeah, good luck. Have fun, guys.
Ding, your response, fantastic. Gentlemen, best of luck to you both. We'll see you guys very shortly. Oh, man, that was always fun to see Putin there. See him twice tonight. That's a surprise. We got to see that guy twice in one night. That should make the viewers' day, indeed. I know Putin hype is just going off crazy. Is it? I don't know. We can't see that.
There's so many jokes right now that I would totally get fired for making.
Do not make
We just
them.
got to get off this topic real fast.
Let's focus on the match at hand. We're going to be seeing Yo versus DingNA. Now, looking at kind of the rosters on both these sides, actually, while we're talking about if the rosters already pull those rosters on both these sides, looking at the experience just on these teams, who has more as far as overall experience?
Well, that's a tricky question because both teams are new to the league. Ding has been around for a while. Okay. So, all I can really do is kind of go through the general list of both teams. Yo has Ajax and Pants I'm not going to make that joke twice. Bobby, Chai Sniper, extremely bad. Fulcrus, Lost That Love and Feelin'.
Oh, that name.
We're going to have to make a deal where we don't sing that song this season.
I can't promise that.
On a number less than 5. Major Trouble, Striker, and Tasty Pastry. For DingNA, we have Darth Vader. Well, that's intimidating on its own. Flashland, Master Putin.
Yep, Master Putin.
I won't call you MacTep yet.
Yes,
we'll give you some time.
Probably going to do it.
And then we'll do it again. Mr. Gordon Freeman. trans-dimensional warrior.
Careful.
What can you do?
Yeah, careful with that. one.
Roma Sacred, Romstar, Veloxa, Jan Toronto? Jan Toronto?
Yeah, Toronto.
Sure, it just makes sense. And then Papa Dijon. Or Dijon. I'm going to go with Dijon.
I like Dijon.
Because Papa Mustard is a pretty baller name.
Papa, you
in
gotta watch
fact,
out Papa Mustard.
in fact, I'll make you a deal, Ding NA. If you win this season, I will name my firstborn male child Dijon Williams.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you write this down. Go back and save this into your profile. We just got confirmation that is a good name. So,
Thank you.
Thank
you, Backstage.
Will
Thank you.
they do it, ladies and gentlemen? Our first battle is underway. It is Ding NA versus Yo. Yo is going to be on defense. Ding NA on offense. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
What have I done?
Yeah, well, that is a promise.
For Yo, we have two FE215 beats, two E5s, an STB, Object 432, and a T54 for Ding NA, an FE215B, two IS7s, two E5s, two Object 140s, and an AMX 1390.
Now, I am excited to kind of see as this plays out, if Ding just continues to win victory after victory, just to watch the sweat build up on your face. Unless you're really pumped about Dijon Williams, which is not a bad name.
I mean, honestly,
Fantastic
there's worse
name.
things to be named after. Dijon, I mean,
Yeah, that's a great name.
it's the best mustard.
Like 50% of people like Dijon. Yeah, it's good. It's all good. Now, back to the topic at hand. The 1390, Mr. Gordon Freeman now scouting things out for Ding. That's a nice. We get to see Rumor here. A good chunk of damage there. 797. Now one more shot, and he's going to go down. Will Fulgros be able to pick that up in that E5, or will be able to get out of it? Looks like he makes it behind the building just in time. And the response from DNA is taking some shots there on a striker, but Chai Sniper sniping Mr. Gordon Freeman. That 1390 is now down. That is a scout gone for Ding NA. Now, again, we've seen this twice tonight where a scout falls early for a team. When that happens, obviously you do not plan for that to happen. How easy is it to kind of go, okay, we're down a scout, this is what we need to do now?
It depends. If you're using the scout for that, then it's not that big of a deal. I mean, it's common, and it's not a huge strategic loss. But in this instance on Rodenberg, that's going to come back to haunt them. You cannot afford to throw away that tank. I personally don't feel like throwing away a tank is ever really that great of a strategy. Some teams have been known for doing it, have been statistically better for doing it, all sorts of stuff. But I feel like if your strategy revolves around giving away a tank just for spotting, that it's not a very good strategy.
Okay.
But if you give away a tank to get a tank or to get a position or something like that, then that is certainly a viable deal.
Right.
But on this map with that tank and that position, that's just a big loss. Ding NA mostly stacked in the building area, which would be amazing if they were on defense. But on offense, not really getting a whole lot of momentum here. We do have two tier 10s holding down the 0 line. Two Object 140s on Ding NA, and T54 Chai Sniper for Yo, just locking down the 0 line. He's going to see anybody that moves through it, although he's now coming out of his first position. He's starting to move a little bit forward down. Flashland taking 415 from center there. Chai Sniper slowing down. Does appear they have lit Romstar, and they are getting a lot of focus fire on him. 789 so far.
He's got to be careful there, dropping just barely above half health. There he goes, dropping down below. 400 points of damage, that Object 140. He's just hauling it out of there. Just needs to make sure he gets to safety as quick as possible, and that control there, losing for Ding, just kind of little bits of the map where Yo is slowly pushing their advantage and doing a fantastic job. Chai Sniper now going to the position where that 140 Romstar just was. So he's kind of backing off. Fight there going on. Pop! And Flash getting the focus on from the Delta Village from Yo. They're doing a great job holding that control, and be very interesting to see how Ding NA, if at all, claws their way out of this deficit, which is a 4,000 HP deficit, mind you. Not an easy task whatsoever. Looks like they've decided to push on over this hill, but if Master Putin continues to go any further, he is going to be, he is just not going to be a happy man. There's a lot of members of waiting that Delta Village, waiting to light up anyone that they see, and right now it is Flashland and Pop.
Big Daddy Mustard.
It's a great name.
On the 0 line. Honestly, both these teams are just kind of straight shots back and forth here. Not entirely sure what Ding NA's plan is. apparently is to lose a lot of hit points and
Just
not
to-
really gain any
just to
territory.
sit here.
I'm just utterly confused by it.
All right, well, let's see. As it looks like they're just continuing to go down and down. Now almost 5,000 points of HP. Now it is 5,000 points of HP in the whole Ramsar popping his own flashing all extreme low. Couple R1 shot. They do find Chai Sniper finally in that team before. They're not getting lit up, but meanwhile, when that goes down, Ajax taking out Massive Move. That's an IS-7 falling for DingNA, and Yo is going to continue to smash DingNA into submission. Darth Vader is going to be the next one to go down. One more shot, and he will get annihilated. Fulcro is going to pick that one up, and now Veloxa in that IS-7 just sitting back, trying to put some cap pressure on. So that's just going to be, it's just over right now. Yo has just so much advantage. Everyone from DingNA is very, very low. So many right at half health, full health as Bobby taking down Veloxa. And with 3 minutes and 15 seconds, this victory, I'm confident to say, is going to go over to Yo as Lost takes down Papa John. Rom starts jumping through the Delta Village, trying to cause as much chaos as he possibly can. But Striker looks like he's going to shut him down. Can he make it out in time? No! The 5B takes down that 140, and the first victory going over to Yo. Would you just look at that? Would you just look at that? That can't.
Oh, what a time to be alive.
What a good time indeed. I hope you all enjoyed that as much as we just did, and I'm excited to see Yo win more. Just to kind of see that as much as possible. But kind of looking out there, we talked about how devastating it is for DingNA to lose that scout, that 1390 right in the beginning on the map like this. They didn't get anything for it, and it just kind of went downhill from there. And like you said, it didn't really seem like they had a plan to get out of it.
No, I mean maybe they were relying on the 1390 for a lot, but if you're running a single tier 8 light tank
As your
with
your
60
main damage.
points of tank, waiting on that guy to survive, counting on him to survive,
yeah,
I don't really have a whole lot of commentary to make to that. Now, I mean, we'll see. There's a chance that something just kind of went wrong. There's a communication breakdown, something, perhaps a player who doesn't usually play is in. There's a lot of different reasons why something can become that disjointed and that awkward immediately. And, we'll find out very quickly. This is one of the teams that qualified through the Silver League. This isn't a qualifier team.
Right.
So they have experience in a league format. It's not the current one, but they were playing 754 in the past, them and Eclipse. And we'll see if they can kind of adapt to this in a hurry.
Yeah.
It is possible that they could be at a disadvantage compared to a qualifier team because they were playing the old format and not preparing for this one. But I personally feel like any experience in the competitive style on these maps is incredibly valuable because as we've talked a couple of times, the maps,
they have their
things
strategy.
change, but the maps don't change very much, and the maps largely dictate what to do.
Right.
As we just saw, I mean, none of that was new.
Nope.
It's
Delta
just
Village control.
Ding wasn't able to get any momentum there whatsoever.
Yeah, and you're doing a fantastic job. Really not throwing the advantage that they have, which we have seen teams do in so many times. When you have a 5,000 HP lead, it's really hard. For me, I'd be like, oh, let's all push, let's go. Like we got them, but it's great. They held back, they stayed.
You can lose. You can definitely lose.
Yeah, instantly. So good job on Yo's part, showing that wisdom, showing that restraint to kind of sit back. They know the lead that they had, and they took it. And this is the first time we saw Ruinberg tonight. So it'll be exciting to see if this is kind of how it's going to be going as far as no new strategies, or if we're going to see some crazy mouses popping out. There's only one to find out, and that's to get right back into the battle. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting into it. Yo versus Ding. We've switched sides. Let's see what we brought for our tanks.
For Yo, we have two E5s, two Object 140s, two STB-1s, and a T-54 lightweight. For Ding and a 50B, an FV-215B, two E5s, two Object 140s, and an M40, M43.
Okay.
That's interesting.
That is.
Very, 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 very old meta on Ruinberg was to bring artillery.
Really?
But they weren't that artillery. And I'm not sure it's going to necessarily work the way it's intended to. However, if Yo is going to go completely hardcore on this northern cap,
It might work out.
the M40 will be a lot better than it would be in other places. Because
how
you put a couple
unfortunate.
tanks in the same place and let an M40 click in the general vicinity, bad things will happen. Therapists will be required. It's an awful, awful thing to
Pocket
happen.
wallet will be drained. And
You
now,
can lose two tanks at the same time
wow.
in one shot.
Let's see.
It's possible. It's not like that.
Let's see if that happens here. Lost taking the first little bit of damage there. And now taking a lot more damage, getting tracked, in fact. He has a quick repair there, and on the way he goes. And now here comes the response. DingNA starting to move out from that Delta Village. That artillery will be very interesting to see how Veloxa does with M40 and 43. Yo, very typical thing when you go from that northern cap. You just push all the way through, try to get members into these buildings so that you are not surprised when Ding pushes around the outer side of the courtyard there. And here comes the battle. Back and forth shots going across the place. 43 seconds now on the clock as Yo establishes that dominance. But WGLNA is sending a couple members to 140s around the city. And if they can buy enough, if Ding can buy enough time here and give the reasons they need, those 140s will do work. But Striker taking down Flashland, and that is the first tank there falling for WGLNA. Yo picking that one up and taking some shots there. I heard the M40 go out, and that looks like the cap has been reset. Fulcro's now taking Master Putin down, and it looks like Yo is actually just going to keep pushing on the way through. Striker taking some damage, but Chai Cyber finds Philoxa, and that artillery is now gone. Darth Vader finally finding a member of Yo. Striker is going to be going down, but Papa Dijon will be punished, but not before he takes down a 140 himself. Bobby is going to find that one, and now it is 3 tanks for Ding against the 5 for Yo. Darth Vader now sitting kind of by himself in the Ducks Village. Meanwhile, the 2 140s have made it to the caps. But it's just, I guess, fantastic job for Yo for not sitting back and finding a sort of overmatch, maybe either seeing those 140s or just guessing that that's where they're going to be going, taking it through all the way through the village, up pushing to the eastern side against Ding and finding those tanks when they could. Mr. Gordon Freeman now in a bit of a pickle, and depends. And the T-54 now rushing the way through. Bombstar backing up at 140, and it's only a matter of time now before WGLNA just goes down. There's so many tanks here against these 2 140s. Chai Sniper doing the damage. Ajax, but Chai Sniper is going to find Mr. Gordon Freeman down. Ramsar backing off in that 140. Full Gross chasing him, and Darth Vader going 1-1 against Bobby. Too bad that wasn't Luke. That would have been amazing, right? Bobby, but still a great name, Bobby. Full Cross is extremely low. Ramsar takes some shots from Underpounds from the back. One more, and he's going to be going down. He is so low, but he takes down Full Cross. What a beautiful shot. Underpounds taking down that 140. And now Darth Vader and Bobby just kind of dueling it out here. Sitting around the fountain, just trying to buy time. 4 minutes and 54 seconds on the clock. Plenty of time for Yo to come back, either put cap pressure on, or just come and help out Bobby take down Darth Vader. I mean, he is a huge threat to the universe. If you have the opportunity, definitely take him down when you can.
He's just misunderstood.
It looks like they heard me. Bobby takes down Darth Vader, and that is Yo picking up another victory. Look at that. Let's just... What a fantastic... I think that's how it was originally painted, and then, it was too brash for the public eye, and they had to go ahead and take the glasses off and remove the Yo. But thank you, Yo, for bringing it back into the public eye. Fantastic job, and a fantastic job indeed for them. One thing I want to kind of point out and talk about is you were saying how they were going for the northern cap, where that artillery was going to do some damage. And a very natural response, what you see when teams do that, is Ding sent 2 tanks around. Sometimes it's 1. They send them around the city. And what Yo did was like, we're not going to wait for them to get here. We're just going to push all the way through. They found the overmatch, and they took it clean. Is that the risk that you run when you send those tanks through? Or did Yo just do something amazing and get lucky? Or how did that kind of play out for them?
Ding did not execute that defense the way they should have, and Yo very, very boldly pushed out of the positions that a lot of people stop in,
right?
Which I think was a smart move, a very situationally aware move.
Okay.
I don't think they would have done it under most circumstances. They just saw the opportunity and they went for it. And pretty much once they reached the end of those buildings in the A line, that M40 couldn't fire without getting lit. So
it was finished over for him.
And even worse for that, right about when he was firing was when Yo was just driving out of cap. So the shot landed, I believe, nowhere, and I can actually double check that.
Yeah, let's look. I heard it fire. I just didn't know if it got anything. I saw the reset. I was like, oh, they must have got... No, didn't anything?
1 shot, 1 splash, but it's 0 damage.
Oh.
So he tracked, splashed somebody's tracks a little bit.
All right, so yeah, so it didn't quite, wasn't
Rough.
quite used to the potential that it would have been. What is WGLNA's, what is a better way that they could have executed that defense?
There's a lot. There's a lot.
A lot of better ways.
That really
so
caused that problem.
So let me kind of phrase a different question. What is, as we're kind of seeing the difference between Silver League and Gold League, you said any experience is good experience, but is there a slight advantage that a Gold League player would have, or someone coming out of qualifiers than a Silver League player, or when it gets to this format, it's just like, well, no, it's all the same kind of at the end of the day.
Well, the big difference between Silver League and Gold League, which I think is kind of what you're talking on, is the pacing. It's just like when a professional sports player of any type goes from NCAA to their national league. They tell you it's all pretty much the same. It's just way faster.
Quicker, sure.
And the people who are playing are much more precise. You give them that like little degree of coverage, that extra little wiggle room, and they will score on you. And that's exactly the difference between Silver League and Gold League. But the basics of strategy and whatnot should be something that Silver League teams are very exposed to. So Ding very likely should know how that defense should operate. And I'm not entirely sure what's going on with them because they don't seem like they're very practiced on Ruinberg.
All right, well, let's see if they kind of turn it around here. We have switched sides again. Yo is now on defense. DNA back on offense. Yo up 2-0. Let's get right into it and take a look at this time what we've got for our tanks.
Yo with 2 F-15Bs, 2 E5s, an STB, 1 an Object 432, and a T-54. DNA with an FE-215B, an I-785, a Bat Chat, 2 Object 140s, and a Borsig.
Hey, Borsig is back.
You can't call it a waffle anymore.
I won't. I know.
Because there's too
actually
many.
a waffle.
There's 3 things that you could call a waffle now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what should we call it since the waffle is out? Is it a Borsig?
No, they already voted that it was going to be a Borsig.
It's a Borsig.
So it is, well,
that was last season.
They voted Roomba.
It could have changed.
Mostly, actually.
You know? All right, we'll get into that one later. Meanwhile, what
More
we've got...
questions of the day.
Well, yeah, there you go. We'll ask that question later. Ondipons, net optic 432. Now pushing up right down the F road there, getting pretty deep as far as I've seen a defense go. And DNA didn't do anything to punish him in the position that he's at. What is that going to cause DNA to do? I mean, obviously that's cut off that F road from them. Now, would it be easy for Master Putin just kind of give it that position with the Bat Chat, the Roomba in the back, just kind of back off, or is it going to be a problem?
He's a mediocre problem.
Okay.
Overall, maybe not mediocre, but he's a medium-sized problem. And he's going to have to get more aggressive. Or it looks like he actually just crossed the road, which would be a nice way to get away from that Borsig there. Yo did have a moment where they were a little bit too focused on that effort. Ondipons getting absolutely lit up by Romstar and Putin at the same time. He will go down relatively soon here. Putin can actually step up and take him out, but he's got to have to play that a little bit more carefully because there's still a whole lot of red tanks in the F road waiting for him to make that mistake. So once you see Ding and A push up the east side, they're going to have to take southern control of that town to punish anybody on the northern side from focusing into the western shots in order to open up for the Bat Chat and the Roomba to come out of the west and move through the F line and start to collapse and get that triangulation on the cluster of red tanks. Right now, Ding NA is in the best position they've been in to win so far in this entire match. We'll see if they can actually slice up this into the appropriate angles and get it done before Yo decides to take the action from them and choose when and where they fight.
It looks like that's what Yo is trying to do, but Ding doing a fantastic job shutting down Lost in that 5B, dropping him to just barely above half health. Another shot from Mr. Gordon Freeman is going to be taking him extremely low. 761 points of damage there, and a couple more shots, and he will be taken out of this fight. Chai Sniper in that T-54, taking down Mr. Gordon Freeman in that 140, and here comes the response that we were looking for from Yo and the Delta Village. They are the ones that are trying to take the fight to Ding and not let them press against them. Papa Dijon and Darth Vader huddling behind the building there, taking down Full Crows. And the E5 now dropping, and meanwhile, Master Putin and Malaxa running around the side. It looks like Romstar taking down Ondipons, and Master Putin now looks like Ding is starting to get that Delta Village. They are in the lead as far as HP by about 3,000. And Striker and Chai Sniper going down. Papa Dijon and Flashland, a nice back-to-back kill, and with just 3 members alive for Yo, DNA looks like they're going to be able to pick this victory up. Their first one on offense of the night, doing a lot better job here. And looks like Ondipons has gone down while we were fighting over in the back. Papa Dijon takes down Ajax and just lost. Remains 1 or 2 more shots, and he's going to be going down. Malaxa takes a nice chunk there, and Darth Vader looks like he's going to try to find the shot. His shot bounces. Will it be Veloxa? Will it be Papa Dijon? Only one way to find out, and that is in a couple seconds. It's Flashland. It's neither of them. A nice pickup there, and DNA will find a victory, making it 1-2. Now, looking at that opening position from Yo, where we saw Ondipons push very aggressively down that F road, was that what led to Ding being able to find that aggression that they had in Delta Village, or did it kind of fall somewhere else?
It was mostly the fact that the majority of Yo was stacked up on the northern side of the city trying to support Ondipons. Now, there were 2 players for Ding that were supporting the F road and trying to take it. Meanwhile, there was Ondipons himself was in there, but the rest of his team was also focused on that, letting 5 players from Ding and A pretty much take whatever they want in the east. By the time that Yo realized that they were making a mistake, their only option was to try and take the overmatch they had right then and there, which was 6 tanks, leaving Ondipons to die.
Sure.
6 tanks on 5. The problem is the 5 had greater positions than they did.
Wow.
And it was very close. One of the big things that made a big difference was Master Putin, knowing full well what was going on at that moment, drove right past Underpons.
Yeah,
Was like,
I
dude,
saw
whatever.
that.
You can shoot me once.
I don't care.
I need to get my batch out in the fight to make sure it's equal.
Right.
It was already starting to tilt into DingNA's favor anyways because the exchanges just weren't very good for Yo. But as soon as Master Putin showed up, that was GG. There's no way they're going to dig their way out of it.
Well, a fantastic response then coming out from DingNA to kind of read the position and know what to do at the appropriate time. Another thing I also kind of want to ask about that, Yo, who was established in the Delta Village, obviously it's almost counterintuitive, I would say, to push out of Delta Village. Right, when you have that overmatch, you're like, oh well, this is such a good position. We need to hold this, and so I can definitely see why that would take them. Why they wouldn't do it as quick as possible.
I think what they were a little bit concerned about is once a team takes the southern half of the Delta Village, it's actually a lot easier to clear out the northern half. And anytime you have pressure coming from the F road as well, then you're getting shot in the side and the front. You can't really wiggle because there's a lot of gaps that we've shown you before where people can shoot through. So really, they needed to just expect Underpons to die and take some actions to help them defend that northern side as well. I think you were right. There was a chance that they could have taken to push through, and there probably were some angles, actually, that were better than what they chose. But without a doubt, taking your tanks and going down the zero line into a waiting trap like that was not the right answer out of them all, and I could probably drop 2 or 3 other ones that would be debatably better. But it was I like the intuition that was going on there. It shows a certain amount of understanding of things. It's just little tweaks, you know,
right.
and those little differences look huge to us because the end result is big, but it's actually just a very small mistake earlier on.
All right, well, let's see if DingNA can continue that victory as we get into our next battle. David, what do we got for tanks?
We have for Yo, we have 2 FE 215Bs, an IS-7 2E5s, Conqueror, and a WC 111 1-4. I don't know how we're going to say that. It's just so long. DingNA with an AMX 50B, FE 215B, 2 E5s, 2 Object 140s, and an M40, M43.
Right here now, that M40, M43 being brought back for Ding. So they're going to try to do it again, but Yo doing definitely a much different response this time, pushing up very aggressively down that F road into a lot of opening fire there from DingNA. Ajax taking a lot, dropping down to about 1,000 roughly in that Conqueror, and more damage even going across them as they're trying to just kind of catch DingNA out, I'm assuming. That's what they were trying to do. DingNA, though, now getting right back in that Delta Village position, and a lot of sacrifice health there, I guess, going out for Yo. They are only 300 down, but as far as from their initial ringings, that's a lot more than DingNA has taken.
Right now, Yo's strategy is missing 1 tank to kind of go scout that K0 spot to make sure that medium dies, but he does look like he is getting some connections. Romstar might go down, and once he goes down, it's actually DingNA's game to lose at that point. Yo has superior position. They should be able to push through it.
Really?
There are 2 mediums now that could contain them, and if they take them out, then Yo will be in business. If not, Ding is going to take it to him.
Lost, taking down Mr. Gordon Freeman. That is a tank there falling for DingNA. Now let's see if Yo can continue and get this Delta Village back. If you guys aren't familiar with Delta Village, that is a village you guys are watching the fight unravel right now in the F0, F9 area. Bobby taking down Master Putin in that 50B, and Yo continues to find this domination. Darth Vader is next on the chopping block for DingNA. Flashlight, meanwhile, does take down Ajax in that Conqueror in his E5. Trying to tie this one back up. It is 6 tanks on the side of Yo to now just the 4 of Ding as another tank falls. Papa Dijon, though, does find Bobby, and the HP, though, just so in favor of Yo here. They have the Delta Village. Papa Dijon should be going down any second now, and Veloxa and the M40, M43 just not in a position to do much work. And as I say that, darn you, Veloxa, taking down Volkros. Fantastic shot there coming out from that artillery, and that is going to get them closer to taking this one. Now, Yo, would be interesting to see how they respond. Papa Dijon is still alive, mind you. He's been alive for the past 30 seconds, sitting in a Delta Village. Finally lost. Is going to pick that one up. Flashland looks like he's the one who's going to be taken next. 422 points in that E5. One more shot, and he's going to be going down. Underpons is going to be the member to go down and take that one. Veloxa still in the corner. And now it looks like it's just going to be up to Veloxa and Ramsar. I mean, Yo is very low. About 1,300 points of damage in HP in the difference between Yo and DingNA in favor of Yo. But with a couple of shots from Ramsar, and if Yo are the ones who are on the offense, do you think Ding can take this?
Well, possible. I believe that Yo is making the exact correct decisions right now. Well, close enough. They're using Underpons to try and scout Veloxa. he can take the shot from Veloxa and survive. So as long as he does make that connection, he will be okay. But Veloxa is focusing on, looks like he can splash around the corner to pick up either Striker or Lost. He definitely has the range. Doesn't look like he's actually going to dedicate himself to the shot.
Oh!
And there it goes from Underpons. He finally gets lit up. And now it's just Romstar on 4 one-shot tanks. Now, that's actually somewhat winnable. Oh, sorry, 3 one-shot tanks.
And then,
Never mind.
and then
That
Daisy
is not.
one of those.
Underpons pretty much breaks that entire deal. However, Romstar can always go pro here.
He is on defense, so Yo does have to go to him, or does have to be the one to apply the pressure.
It's tricky.
So it'll be very. This is where that experience comes into play.
Tricky is an understatement. I mean, you're going to have to shoot 3 tanks without them shooting you back, and then get around Underpons' gun while he's trying to turn. Because trying to play some sort of standoff fight with him could very well go bad.
I mean, it's just quick, easy math, right? It's quick math.
Oh yeah, you know.
Oh yeah, you know.
It's easy.
For the
No
beautiful
big
mind
deal.
guy.
Romstar's he's doing okay here, trying to ease his way in. But Yo is taking the correct positions to really shut this down, hiding most of their lower health tanks in the bushes in the Delta Village, where they all have shots. Ooh, knocking down that tree actually gave away his position there, as Underpons almost undoubtedly was able to see it, and if not then, now he will be able to see it. One shot, Romstar's taking a shot for it. Underpons definitely sees him now. That is not an amount of hit points that's going to matter to Yo whatsoever. It's more of a concern as it's resetting their cap.
Sure.
And if Romstar is able to just constantly reset them and troll them until they make mistakes like that, then he can definitely capitalize on this. But if Underpons is able to keep him lit, even for 20 seconds. That's everything that Yo needs to take all their one-shot tanks and put them in one location. In this case, if they just came to the end of the road where Romstar is right now, they could afford to lose one in a shot for the other 2 that are going to be able to fire down that road and kill him.
Okay.
But it's a place that a lot of people get scared about because
like
they think a lot can go wrong. Just use Underpons to keep them lit, and it's all easy.
Underpons right now is just chasing down Romstar. Meanwhile, Yo sending the rest of their members who are low. Looks like they're going to be going to cap. We got an IS-7 there. Maybe they're just going to be going around. They might just try and... No, there's the cap pressure.
They could put on cap pressure. They could use one of the IS-7 as a hull down, or the other way around. They can use one tank in the event that it dies to block the shot from Romstar, while the other one caps and kind of uses that as a base of fire to fire from. Underpons is on a corner that guarantees nobody can come from the south, which pretty much guarantees that Romstar has to come from this direction.
30 seconds.
Most of these tanks over here are probably going to be looking at him, and even if he does get the shot off, he should not live for a whole lot longer after that. But either way, Yo knows exactly which way he's coming from. They're all looking at it.
Yep,
And
here we
rip
go.
Romstar.
Once he's alive, there it is. He is lit up. There's one shot going into him.
Bounce.
And the shot from Romstar, gets bounced. There's actually a mouse and a shot, but there it is. Picks him up. Underpons finally finishing Romstar off. That actually got pretty close, but Yo picking up that victory, making it now 3-1 against DNA, showing either a dominance on Ruinberg or maybe just exploiting DNA's not map cohesion
Hard to say.
on Ruinberg.
Hard to say.
Absolutely hard to say indeed. But congratulations to them. Now up 3-1 against DNA at the beginning of that fight there, where it looked like Yo doing a very aggressive push going to the Delta Village, and then just kind of caused a lot of chaos. Is that in response to the artillery? Like when you see an artillery, is one of your options like, hey, let's just rush them?
They brought a lineup that indicates to me they were intending to do it from the beginning. So
Okay.
I don't know if they're making a read based off of the last defense and expecting the artillery to happen again, which, if that were true, it's an answer that makes a certain amount of sense. It's not necessarily the best one.
Okay.
You would want a lot of heavier tanks and hit points to soak that up, but I personally wouldn't be particularly worried about an M40, M43. I would try and force the altercation, and that is what they did, and that's why it worked.
Okay.
But probably bringing 1 or 2 mediums in order to control north and south flank while you create that fight could also be another good option. There's a lot of different ways to discuss it, honestly, and I feel like the M40 was probably not the best tank in space unless they really found a way to guarantee it was going to get shots.
All right. Well, now we're going to be moving on into Cliffs. We're talking about how Cliffs is a very aggressive map, and going against more experienced players. Do you think that with both of these teams who are either newer to the league or not as experienced as High Voltage or Noble, do you think that this is going to be those things where camping might be able to work, or do these teams know that too much?
Yes. Well, we'll see. We'll see if they know it. We'll see if they studied some of the older ways of doing things.
Right.
And if that is true, then camping It really depends. Really depends. Camping will have a greater chance of working against teams that
Like
are newer
this.
to the league
Sure.
than teams that are older to the league. I cannot speak specifically to these two teams because they could have additional experience on Cliff I'm not aware of.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to necessarily rule against it. But we will find out very quickly because you either know it or you don't, and I should be able to tell
Yeah,
pretty fast.
You can't get past this guy. So let's see what his analysis is after this first battle on to Cliffs between Yo and DingNA. Yo is on offense, DingNA on defense. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
For Yo, we have Ondipants in an Object 140, 2 STBs, 2 T62As, an AMX 30, and an E50. DingNA with Batchat 2, well, 1 Object 140, 1 Object 430, 2 STBs, and 2 Object 432s.
Wow, they have like 8 tanks.
Yep.
Darth Vader.
It's a little tricky to keep track of this situation.
Chasing right behind Veloxa. Master Putin and Flashland all going for that aggressive push. It looks like Yo on the other side of the map, the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, is going to be doing the same.
Good signs from the south so far. STBs are a nice tank in this position. The idea that they're bringing a 140 with 2 62As, I'm not entirely sure which Russian mediums are better here in the middle. The E50 will have a place in this fight if they're able to get it there. I don't know about the AMX 30,
Wow.
but compared to the 2 432s, a 140, a 430, and the position, Ding is very likely going to be able to take this if they know their position.
Well, here we go. Let's see as this unfolds if they do or not. Yo and Ding. The clash has begun. Damage now going across on all sides. Romstar is the one to take a lot of the damage there for DingNA. One more shot, and he's actually going to be going down in that 140. Meanwhile, Darth Vader finds Bobby, and then STB1, a beautiful pickup there. Striker does take Romstar as a 1-for-1 exchange now going back and forth between these two teams. Yo does have the upper hill with Ajax and Fulcros, but meanwhile, Ajax does find Veloxa there. That 430 going down. It is 5 tanks on the side of DingNA against 6 for the side of Yo as Chai Sniper takes down Papa Dijon. Fulcros and Ajax pressuring Flashland off the top of the hill, and at the bottom, Strider barely staying alive, but Mr. Gordon Freeman is gonna end him now. Chai Sniper on Ponton lost on the side of Yo is gonna be facing off against Master Putin and Mr. Gordon Freeman. Chai Sniper finds Master. Mr. Gordon Freeman finds Ondipants. A 1-for-1 exchange now going back and forth, really in favor of no one, but Mr. Gordon Freeman taking out loss. He's gonna be tying this one up 3-3. DingNA might be able to come back. Fulcros, though, trying to shut him down as quick as possible. Flash and fallen for the side of Ding, and now Darth Vader looks like he's gonna be going next. Ajax, a beautiful pickup there. Mr. Gordon Freeman is now against 3 tanks. Fulcros is at 2 HP. Mr. Gordon Freeman, 700 points of damage there, and he's just getting crushed by Ajax and Chai Sniper. A little bit of ram damage they're going through. Mr. Gordon does take down Chai. Ajax is going head-to-head. Who is going to come in on top? It's going to be Ajax. And with a little bit of help there, it looks like from Fulcros. And Yo finding another victory against DingNA on the Cliffs. Now, you kind of talked about what you said there is DingNA had superior positions and better tanks. And it was kind of, was that the situation? Was their game to lose?
I would say so. They definitely had the positions, but they lost one of them very quickly. A lot of that happened very quickly, so I'm not necessarily sure if it was something special that Yo did in order to knock that down,
Gotcha.
or if it was kind of a bad turn of events, or if that player made some significant mistakes. But that fight near kind of the edge of the hill, the westernmost area where
Yes.
a lot of tanks line up,
Yeah.
that to me looked like it very well should have gone
To Ding.
to Ding and did not. It looks like they got out-tanked on there.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure whether the Batchat, Master Putin's Batchat, was a huge help to the fight or a problem to the fight. He did get off he got 6 shots off total.
Yeah.
So he did get a clip out. It's just whether he got them all in the same target
Gotcha.
and whether people followed up on it and killed it. Because if you spread out a Batchat's damage, well, now it's reloading for 35, 40 seconds or
Right,
so. We'll have
right.
to find out exactly what that is for you. That's a long time for it to be down. So if it doesn't kill a tank in that time, it's not really carrying its weight.
Right.
And the 2 Object 432s didn't take the full brunt of the damage to begin with and were able to come in afterwards. For 2 9s to be able to come into that situation with the kind of DPM that they have it should have been, in my opinion, Ding's fight.
Okay.
Yo did some very, very small things to come back. In particular, the way they locked out the people on the hill. They took down one of the tanks that was on the hill for Ding, and then they forced the other one down out of a position where he could shoot at their team.
Right.
And all he could shoot at was the 2 that were pushing him out. And what they did is they pushed him down and then looked to the west. So they're like, yeah, you shoot us, whatever.
We're
We're
gonna
making
take down
sure
this. Yeah.
we're focus firing with our team.
Right.
and that's what ended up bringing it home for him.
Well, that's such a fascinating just aspect of this game as well, is the difference between just just shooting tanks, what that you see, or the importance of focus fire. And that's not just in professional play, that's in World of Tanks in general. It's an amazing rule. All the math behind it is fascinating. We'll get into that later, because right now, Yo versus DNA is getting back into it. Yo is now on defense, DNA on offense. Yo just needs one more. Can they take it, or can DNA come back? Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
For Yo, we have an Object 142 STBs, 2 T62As, an AMX-30 and E50. For Ding NA, we have 2 AMX-50Bs, an Object 140, 2 STB-1s, and an two Object 432s.
Right here now, Ding NA again. They just need one more victory. Or, I'm sorry, Yo just needs one more victory, and they'll claim this one. Will Ding NA be able to do what Yo just did to them on this side of the map? 7 minutes and 36 seconds now on the clock. A lot of aggression there for DNA, but again, Yo doing the same thing, pushing it for that center. This is exactly what this kind of map all comes down to. No one going for the donut, no one going, just a very solid 1-2 line push. It is just all about the center rush.
Ajax here is trying to get the initial light. This is one of the most important parts of this entire thing. If he does not spot where Yo is, then Ding is going into it blind, and they can have a lot of tanks drop on him at any point in time. With those 2 AMX-50Bs, that could be a huge issue.
Here we go, though. Ondapon taking a lot of damage. Ding doing a fantastic job taking Striker down. One more shot. He's going to fall. Darth Vader does pick that one up. That's a T-62 falling, and Romstar falling that up, taking Ondapon's down. Massive battle going here on the bottom of the hill on Cliffs. Lost, though. Nice little ram kill there for Master Putin. A fantastic job. Chai Sniper, though, does go down after to Romstar. He did pick up a kill, though. Fulcros does find Veloxa, but just 3 tanks remain for Yo against the 5 for Ding NA. A fantastic, very quick turnaround for Ding, just coming right back on it, showing just fantastic positions. Amazing dominance there. Bobby now being surrounded. It looks like it's going to be Darth Vader's turn to get a little bit of revenge shot there onto Bobby. No, Flashin's going to steal it from him, and now it is just Ajax from that AMX-30 up on top. He's now bailing off that side of the hill. He is going to run. I mean, there's nowhere where he can really run to. DNA has just such an advantage. He's now backing up a little bit further. 871 more shot. He's going to go down. Flash and finds that one as well. A fantastic pickup there for Ding NA. Trying to survive, trying to hold back, and maybe starting to kind of claw their way back into this battle. Now, you kind of talked about that initial spotting there coming out for Ding and for Yo.
Yes. And if you don't see, say for example, Yo going up there, they're not able to get spotting on those 2 AMX-50Bs and seeing exactly where they're going, then that's going to happen to you. Basically, from what we could tell, a lot of those tanks just kind of materialized on top of Yo. And that's a lot of firepower very quickly.
From their perspective.
The 250Bs are something that some of you may be looking at right now, and you're like, well, why wouldn't you bring them? Noble crushed their opponent when they brought them, and then Ding NA just did pretty much the same thing, just utterly shreked the enemy team with them.
5 tanks.
The problem is, if the enemy team decides to back off and pump the brakes a little bit, the 50B is not necessarily one of the better tanks for poking, and you're kind of being a little bit hamstrung by it as you're waiting for it to find the right place to get in that fight and put 4 on target.
Okay.
It's still a good tank to bring. It just changes a lot. So when you do that, you open yourself up to hard counters. So it's something you should use here and there, and especially against a lineup like they had against Yo's. I mean, they had superior firepower, superior speed. They got to the middle line in bulk faster than Yo did from the south.
Right.
Which I'm wondering if there's been any spawn changes. I know a long time ago, this is seasons ago at this point, that you couldn't go to the middle if you got certain spawns.
Like we're here.
And that was a thing across a lot of strategies. You'd look at them, you're like, okay, what are our spawns? Do we get the good spawns or no? If you got the bad spawns, you didn't do the middle rush strategy.
Right.
If you got the good spawns, and you're like, all right, we're good to go. They can't beat us there. So I don't know if that still exists, where they can kind of shuffle a little bit further or closer to that middle point.
Sure.
Or if they just didn't drive their tanks well, or if it was just flat out. Perhaps there's a consumable thing going on there, where a lot of Ding perhaps brought oil and gas and that kind of stuff to make it to the middle faster, which they should be bringing anyway on this map. But
all right, well, we will see. And we're getting back into it. Ding now up 2-4. Ding is now on defense. Yo on offense. Let's see if they can pick this one up. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for it.
So for Yo, we have an Object 142 STB-1s, 260 T62As, an AMX-30, and an E50. For Ding NA, we have a Bad Chat, an Object 140, an Object 430, 2 STB-1s, and 2 Object 430s.
Darth Vader, Mr. Gordon Freeman again. Master Putin Ding coming right up to the center. Now, they showed their dominance here on defense before against Yo. Will they be able to pull it out again? What I love about Cliffs is, so often, a lot of maps when you're on defense, it's all about, setting up positions and kind of holding back, and you're the quote-unquote defenders. Where we're on a cliff, it's like, yeah, we're defense, yeah, we're also rushing. We're also pushing forward. And it's very interesting to kind of see just kind of the differences here. Master Putin now pushing up very aggressively for Ding up on top of the hill here. He's going to get up there. Obviously a very a key position once you're on the defensive side. He's going to find the spots here. Ajax coming up from his AMX 30. And now the battle should ensue. Onapons taking some shots. All the first, and the shots being all over the map there. A lot of damage going on to Romstar right in the beginning. He has to back off. 493 points of damage. Beautiful focus fire going out for Yo, but Ding doing a lot more damage. It looks like on to Yo. Fulcros, though, finds Romstar. The first tank falling for DNA. Veloxa does find Loss. A good one-for-one exchange there as we're going through. Fulcros finding Mr. Gordon Freeman. How will DingNA respond? It looks like they're looking for Chai Sniper, but Yo doing a fantastic job just keeping any enemies off him, but finally he goes down. Papa Dijon taking that one down. Again, a one-for-one exchange going across. Striker falls. Papa Dijon picks that one up. Onapons takes down Veloxa. Yo has 4 tanks. If they win this one, they will win the match. DingNA need to pick this one up because it is all over for them if they do not. And Papa Dijon finding Onapons is a way to do it. Bobby, though, taking down Papa Dijon. He's just going to make it harder and harder for DingNA to come back in this one. They are, Yo is up on HP, but a lot of damage. Beautiful focus fire from Master Putin and Flashland taking down another tank, and now it is a 2-on-2. Master Putin doing his best to try to run around, gets a little bit of ram damage. Ajax finishes him up, and now it is just Flashland alive for DingNA. Yo with 2,000 points of HP. Ding with 1,900. That STV1 is a full health tank, David. Can he turn this one around? Could he be able to win this?
He shouldn't be able to. It's possible, but he should not be able to.
Wow.
At this point, he's going to have to try and camp Ajax. As long as Ajax waits until he fires and then Fulcrus clears, it will be consistent damage. Flashland did just fire at Fulcrus, which gives Ajax a little bit of a moment to get in here. Now they're at an HP differential where it just flat out doesn't matter.
There it is.
And it is GG. This is very basic for most of these players, and I'd be surprised if they messed that up.
There we go. Congratulations to Yo, who's going to pick up their 5th victory against DingNA, sealing out the matches of the night and also sealing out our first day of Season 2 Gold League. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Tier 10s, 768 format is here. Now, before we kind of move on from that last match, was there anything that you kind of saw out of the opening movements? It was very kind of standard. It seems like that was what the entire cliff was between Yo and Ding. It was just rush to the front and see what happens.
Yes. Not entirely sure what was going wrong for Ding on the defensive side. They actually looked like they were better on the offensive side. They had more gusto, more confidence in what they were doing. Perhaps it's the 2 guys in the hill getting too easily pushed down. Perhaps it's the guys at the bottom of the hill are getting bullied and not necessarily hitting their focus fire shots in their slightly weird positions. It's one of these things that in order to diagnose it, and this is what we did back when we ran this map, you get the replays, you go back, and you have to watch from every single player's perspective to see what was their reload time, what were they looking at that time, and it could come down to one player was lagging, and the entire strategy fell apart.
That's insane. That is the amount of study and dedication these guys have to just this craft and how much time it takes to make a play work, to make a team good, to make a team great. And this is what you guys can be expecting for this Season 2. If you guys are just joining us, or a quick recap, let's go over the matches of the night. Up first, we had Simp versus 07. Simp beat 07 5-4, followed by Caller Wanted versus Noble. Noble beat them 5-1. Third, we had Ping losing to High Voltage 0-5. And finally, what you guys just saw, Yo beating DingNA 5-2. David, just kind of thinking back on the overnight, some of the highlights, or the main highlight for you, what was fun to watch about this first new format?
I'd have to say I really like the way that Noble came out of the gate. They showed a whole lot of dominance in Tier 10. Caller Wanted did quite well considering who they were playing. They took a game off them, which is not necessarily an easy thing to do. It's just we're kind of spoiled by last season where we were expecting a lot of the qualifier teams and newer teams to come in and really go toe-to-toe with a lot of these people. But when you come into this kind of format and at this speed into the wheelhouse of a team like Noble, that's far more consistent with what happens in the past. Teams even getting a handful of games off a good team back in season 2, 3 was a big deal. So it's a good start. I hope all the new teams are still encouraged and getting a little taste and starting to catch up with what's going on, because if last season's any measure, if previous seasons are any measure, it won't be long before they start catching up to the pace of this. And they played some of the hardest teams to play right off the bat.
Yeah,
and you might see Noble do this to a veteran team. So
no,
keep your head up.
there's only one way to find out. My highlight had to be when Noble brought those. I was Noble or High Voltage. I think it was Noble brought the mouses on steps.
That was High Voltage.
High Voltage brought the mouses on
That's
steps,
pretty good.
which is so High Voltage. Now that I think
pretty
about it,
good.
they always kind of find these fun little strategies to do. A fantastic job for them, but just a fun night overall. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did. Make sure to tune in this Thursday, December 3rd, for our next matchups. First, it's going to be High Voltage versus Simple Tankers, followed by Yo versus Noble. Third is going to be Caller Wanted versus Aquatic M60s. And finally, Ping 999 versus Googly Bobber. So again, tune in December 3rd to check that one out. Also, guys, make sure to follow us on Facebook and YouTube /WGLNA. Thank you for watching on battleviewer.com. All of those who did, you guys have a chance, if you didn't, to check it out on Thursday. And finally, follow us on Twitter @WGLNA so you guys can stay up to date on what's happening in the community around you. On behalf of everyone here at the WGLNA, that has been David Williams. I am Christian Toma. And as always, thanks for stopping by.